For Indi.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Colleagues, my topic today is regional solutions and the role the government has in supporting communities. And the government has told us that they don't have all the answers and that the most sensible solutions are often developed in our regions. And I couldn't agree more. This week, Philanthropy Australia hosted Philanthropy Meets Parliament, which helps philanthropy and government understand each other's perspectives and priorities and how they can work together to achieve desired objectives. Now, philanthropy is do-gooding on a grand scale. People give money to an organisation who then redistributes it, and they do amazing work at the national, state, regional and local level. In the absence, however, of major policy implementation that adequately considers the diversity of our regional communities and our philanthropy groups and communication and community groups, we're often left with who's going to fill the gap, how do we join the dots and how do we get the solutions we need. And I have to say, in my electorate of Indi, the community plays such an important role in developing their solutions and finding ways they can work together. And so philanthropy groups such as Tomorrow Today Foundation, led by Sally Gamble, the Into Our Hands Foundation, led by Paul Ryan, the Marysville and Triangle Community Foundation, led by Tony Thompson, the Friday Foundation, led by Chris Friday, the Border Trust Foundation, led by Michael Salter, the Foundation for Rural and Regional Renewal, that covers the whole of Victoria, the Marysville and Triangle Community Foundation. So we're doing really well in my electorate, and I just want to acknowledge and thank the work of all those community committees and those volunteers and the terrific job that they do in making our communities better and filling the gaps that government could never fill. So, for example, the Marysville and Triangle Community Foundation does leadership work and does capacity building work. The Friday Foundation, based in Mansfield, looks after aged care and health services. The Border Trust is doing some fantastic work with young women leading change to foster community leadership. The Tomorrow Today Foundation brings a whole community approach to education and building a much better town in Benalla. The Into Our Hands Foundation is delivering Social Enterprise 101 workshops in partnership with the Australian Centre of Rural Entrepreneurship. And in Corryong, the Corryong Neighbourhood Centre has developed the Upper Murray Community Bakery, employing people, up to 6 staff, people who otherwise would be on benefits. And they're getting jobs in Corryong, they're learning skills and creating such a positive attitude. And I'd also like to acknowledge, if I could, Deputy Speaker, 2 of my own constituents are here in Parliament today, to welcome Liam and welcome you, Natalie. They're volunteers in my office this week and they're learning how Parliament works, and they're both seriously involved in their communities, doing volunteer work in so many ways. So thank you on behalf of Parliament for the work that you do. But what I really want to say to the Parliament is that we could get such better bang for our buck, if you want, with our community volunteers and with our philanthropy if we had a framework, if we had a way of government supporting them. So the philanthropy groups have told me they need help with tax deductibility. They've told me that they could have some support within that taxation system that would make the giving of money easier and the spending of it, well, they can spend it easily enough, but it's getting it that makes it really hard. My community groups say in Corryong say that they're doing such fantastic work, but it's really hard for them to actually get out of community resources the project management money that they need. So they've got to use their corpus money to pay project workers to do all the management. So if there was some way that the government could support them in that role, that would make a difference. But I'm here today to say to my communities, the government is understanding this, and we've got some programs that really work in that regard. And there's one particular program, and it's the Community Stream of Building Better Region Fund. And it's been specifically designed to help us with this. So it's a call out to the Minister. Hey, Minister, can you tell us when you're going to announce the funding for this? We know all the submissions are in, but if Senator Nash and the National Party could follow it up for me, I'd be really grateful. Our communities want to know how is government going to support them to do what they're already doing, and programs like Building Better Regions is exactly the right program to help us do it. But if we could, everyone's waiting. They haven't got the answer for who's going to get funded and when can they start their next period of work. So thank you, Deputy Speaker. I welcome the opportunity to be here today and to thank all my community for their voluntary work.